my tie rod end seems to work as a tie rod end. My big beef though is this. It's crazy that this is not pivoting at all. Yeah, nope, it's not. This is gonna need a lot of work in. So, down the yellow brick road. How one thing leads to another, which leads to another, which leads to another, which gives me the career of ever fixing everything all the time. Fixing this bucket, using the other tractor, broke the tie rod end. Got the tie rod end fixed. I have a video I'm probably gonna work on that tonight and probably post it tonight. Today being Tuesday, I don't know what date it is. Someday in April. Okay. Oh yeah, it must be the 9th, right? Because it's the day after the eclipse. Which, by the way, we didn't get to see here because it was cloudy. Okay. The tie rod end, which went in here, and it broke. Well, once I got this up in the air, I see that this does not turn. This is supposed to pivot and steer the wheel. This is for the right-hand side. And this is locked up tight. And I mean locked up tight. So, I'm going to pull this apart. Now, I did have this wheel bearing apart. I replaced this wheel bearing, I don't know what it was, 8 years ago or something. That seems to be working fine. Oh yeah, and to get this off, I had to cut off a lug too. Which I have some over there. I'll see if I got one. I'll bet I don't have a thread to match, but that's okay. One oddball out, it doesn't make any difference to me. Maybe I'll put a nice chrome lug on there. That'll sexy. Okay, so here goes. Let me grab where'd it go? There it is. Let's see if this works. Well, you are a dirty. Yeah, don't try this at home. Or I mean, I guess you could. It's kind of a shit fix, but everybody does it. I just don't know if that's going to stay or not. Now I'm getting annoyed. Those are crescent locking pliers I just put on there. They're not terribly awful, but boy, we're getting close there. Come on now. Hey, there we go. Look at that. Jesus. That's crazy, right? 50 years of neglect. Actually, not really. Probably more like 40 years of neglect, and the last 10 have been patching and scratching to try to make this thing, to make up for the other 40 years that it had been neglected and left out. Fed hot suppers and basically ignored. As I've said before, if it doesn't work the first time, more horsepower. I got her to move a little bit. Okay, I've been trying some heat here. Maybe I can get this sleeve to expand enough to... I got her to move a little bit, but she ain't moving very much. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. Or maybe not. I gotta readjust that, set that back in the vise. This is going to take a while. Phew. And lots of horsepower. Ugh. This bad rascal ain't light. Whew. I think I'm going to stop and get me a refreshment here. Alright, bring you back. As you can see, I got it to move some. A couple inches. But I'm pretty close to being flush at the top with this right there. And I took that mushroom off of there, so I can smack this with the hammer again eventually. But what I'm going to try, I heated this up, and you can see all the paint all blistered and cooked, and I'm going to try some Evapo rust. I'm going to pour it down in there and see if that eats up some of the rust that's in there, because this thing's pitted really bad and rusty, which I don't get. I mean, apparently the new grease fitting I put on there was plugged and it wasn't getting to anything and about rusted up solid. Now, if I can't get this, I will hook this up and pull it apart with machinery somehow. I'll try anyway, let's put it that way. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that either. But I'm going to dump this Evapo rust in here, see what happens. Maybe it'll eat some of that rust up, suspend it a little bit, maybe it'll chew its way down, I don't know, but I'm gonna leave this sit for a couple days like that and see what happens. What's giving me a little bit of hope of maybe pulling this out is that this did twist. It did turn in this housing up until when the tie rod broke. It wasn't turning easy, but it was turning. So it wasn't completely 100% bound right up. But, boy, she's tight. I'll tell you that. So, here goes nothing with the Evapo rust. Put some light on the scene here. Gonna fill her up, see what happens. Okay, now I'll let that sit for a few days and come back and get this Meanwhile, I'll see if I can find some dimensions on these bearings, and order up some bearings for this. Bearings and whatever else. There's sleeves in there too. But first goal is try to get this out of here. Put this in this way, we'll see. If she don't do nothing, this, I don't know, she's so tight it may not even leak down, but maybe it will. I'll give this a day or two, see what it looks like. If it doesn't seem like it's doing much of anything, I'll flip it the other way and pour her down from the top. The top looks like it had a little more opening in it. Maybe it'll get down in there a little farther, but either way, let her soak pretty good. Maybe this evapor rust will do something, because I'm pounding my cojones off here with this, with the sledgehammer that I'm using. I mean, it's not that it bothers me to do that. I just don't want to, fatigue anything here or warp something. I priced these. I could probably get something used, but that ain't cheap either. I can get new spindles. They have spindles, but I'm guessing they're foreign made, so odds are they won't be as good as these originals if I can get this out of here and make it work. We'll see how boogered up it is when I do. I may just take, if I get it out, if I do get it out, and take some emery cloth around it and bring her down a size or two. Don't know what I'll do for the inside of that tube. I'm sure as hell not going to have this thing bored. I mean, it doesn't need to be that precise. I'm not rolling 80 miles an hour down the road with it. If I have to, I'll run, the old sandpaper on the drill bit extension deal. Alright, well, that's enough for now. I'm going to close this one until I get back to this. Let's consider this some chapter 1, I guess.